Hello. Welcome to the shit show.
Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome to Middle Perspective, where we tell lies. No, but we are live from the tablecloth. I'm Pete, and this is
Swift Jesus.
Swift Jesus. No throat goat today.
Even when she's not here.
And even when she's not here. She's still at work. You know, overtime's a motherfucker, man. I hear your work is getting some shit going on, and you may be doing an extra day by the end of the year. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You have a new hotel coming in. So it's going to add another day. It's going to be another 7 days.
We have a new cruise coming in 2024.
Right. But you guys are gearing up for...
It's taking the place of the Fantasy.
Well, you going to say the name of the ships to everybody on there?
I've already said that...
I don't give a shit.
I've already said everything before. So. But it's taking the place of the one, and...
Oh, I thought they were going to just add... I was told they were going to add a day, and they were going to have 4 ships. So it's going to be 2 7-day and 1 3-day boat.
Yes.
So 2 7-day boats and 1 3-day. So that's an extra day.
Well, like I said, one's leaving and going to, like, some other port.
So, yeah, but if you're going to have 2 7-day cruises in a week...
If that happens once, yeah, it's going to suck, but...
Yeah. It's just overtime. Or no,
Mr. Mike, Mr. Uncle Mike, is on with us right now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's talking to us in the chat.
Oh, shit. Oh, your uncle's in chat. Anyway, the new Metallica ice cream. I haven't tasted it yet. I don't even know where to fucking buy the shit.
Like I said, it probably tastes like Lars's ass.
No, it was whipped up in Lars's basement. And over the past 40 years of Metallica, he's finally got enough cream to be frozen and dipped in chocolate. And guitar shapes, too. Or a guitar shape, not multiple different guitar shapes. It's a guitar shape. So, anyway, yeah, nothing like the events of yesterday in the washing machine.
Oh, God.
My Lord. You know, some of these Angie List motherfuckers, man. I still got to write a fucking shit review for that guy.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. Anyway. Got anything in the news today?
No, I'm
shit in his pants, or...
No, I'm just trying to find,
I know Jimmy Buffett died last... What was it? 2 days ago? 3 days ago? 4 days ago? Jimmy Buffett.
No, I think it was longer than that.
No, it was a week ago. It was
about a week ago.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
A year.
Week.
Oh, yeah, it was a week ago. Yeah, Jimmy Buffett died. Yeah, because we had technical difficulties last week. We did talk about that shit. It's a shame. Pretty cool dude, you know. Unfortunately, it was like for the vaccine and all shit, and, you know, wanted to force shit on people, but, you know.
He died about a week and a half ago.
A week and a half.
September 1st.
Yeah. No, we wanted to talk about it. Last week. But yeah, no, I love the guy's music. Yeah. I mean,
he was not bad.
A metalhead. So I do like the guy's music. There was another thing going on. Somebody else fucking died. Died at 51 years old. Who the fuck just died? God, man, now I'm drawing a blank. I had all this shit ready.
51-year-old?
Yeah, all this shit ready, and it was in my head, and I'm sure somebody in the audience would probably, like, or in the audience. There's one person in the audience.
Yeah, and right now he's saying nice face. Who let him shave?
Yeah, no, I don't.
He decided himself on a whim to shave, And yes, as Mike suggested, Smash Mouth, the lead singer for
Yeah,
Smash
the
Mouth,
lead
died.
singer for Smash Mouth. Yep. Yeah, he's died.
Yep.
Not
Which sucks because, in particular, because of the movie Shrek. I mean, how many people grew up listening to that song
yeah,
purely
I
because
mean,
of that
yeah, you
movie?
did.
I did.
Yeah.
I played that song in high school.
Smash Mouth. Did you? Oh yeah, that's right.
I
You
did.
did. You fucking when you, in your guitar class in your yeah your Beatles loving teacher taught you how to play Smash Mouth.
Yeah, you know what? I think every guitar teacher, for some reason, loves Beatles to an obsessive degree.
Yeah. Not that they were musically. I mean, it was real poppy, very good. Not that they were complex at all, but whatever.
No, the Beatles are important. Obviously,
Yeah,
they
yeah, they
left
were.
a huge freaking
The writing was
mark.
good. They
Yeah,
were good sounding music. No, nothing wrong with the Beatles.
but I just find it funny that like every guitar teacher is like obsessed with them.
Right, right, right. Steven Tyler's vocal cords are damaged, and he's going to have trouble playing in his upcoming event. Yep.
You said Steven Tyler?
Steven Tyler of Aerosmith.
Yes, we should have you on a lot more often. You're a bit more on the ball than we are right now,
Who?
Mike.
Oh,
Because you guys should have me on more often.
yeah, no shit.
Um, Steven Tyler, he's been ruining his vocal cords since he started his freaking career.
Yeah, well,
I watched I guess you call it a documentary or a short video of when I was in school, I think middle school,
yeah,
of uh, trachea injuries.
yeah.
And there was an actual, they were taking a video of them lasering and cauterizing some,
Pull-ups and shit.
no, some inflamed capillaries.
Mm. Oh, that sucks for him. Well, he's always been a heavy drug user and smoker.
Yeah.
I don't know about his, how he's what he's been doing in his older life. If he's anything
I
like
think
Ozzy Osbourne.
he stopped a lot of the,
Yeah.
he stopped drug use, but I
Yeah.
know it's damaged him quite a bit. I mean, he doesn't even remember like a 10-year time period.
Yeah, well, of course,
Like,
that's
he lost a lot of time.
all these pickled motherfuckers are
Yeah.
still walking the earth. I mean, they'll probably walk the earth to the end of time because they've been, pickled. Uh, hey, Buck Cherry has come back. They're all together, I guess, or not. I don't know. I'm just getting a report here. I'm looking it up. They've got a new video. Let's Get Wild.
I heard a little bit about that.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool for a hair band kind of thing for you if you're into that kind of shit.
And for anybody curious, this is the picture of Metallica's ice cream.
Oh yes. Oh, you put the picture of Metallica's ice cream up on there.
I did.
Yeah, and some of the proceeds actually go to charity too, from my understanding. And it's a lower sugar alternative to you're just whatever.
Yeah, it's not bad. I've had low sugar, no sugar ice cream is bad, but
Yeah, well,
I've had low sugar ice cream. It's okay.
well, you can have the stevia sugar shit, and that's that or truvia, whatever the hell it is. That from it's some kind of fucking leaf that's like 1,000 times sweeter than sugar.
Mm.
Then that doesn't leave as much of an aftertaste like sucralose and dextrose shit like that. It's not too bad.
It probably doesn't tear up your body like the other crap
Like
will.
some of the other, yeah. Well, nobody. I don't think anybody's using aspartame as much anymore or any of that.
No,
but
and
they
that's
still are using sucralose and dextrose.
they're using it less because good old internet every now and then it picks one thing up to be viral, and it was aspartame causing all these issues. So it was one article after another talking about aspartame being bad and having this artificial sweetener is awful, which it is. So that's why they started using less and less of it.
Yeah. Kansas has extended their 50th anniversary tour. But Kansas is still rolling.
I didn't know they were still
Winning
going.
new dates. Yeah. And Perfect Circles, and Primus somebody else, or they're gonna do a West Coast something.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting. They never come to the East Coast.
No,
Or Florida in
I
particular.
love Primus though, man.
Oh yeah.
Extreme announces. Okay, the only reason why I'm bringing this up that Extreme announces second U.S. leg of the tour uh, with Living Color. Cult of Personality and
Yep.
all that. Living Color.
Which those guys are still fucking. They're
Yeah,
really
I
good.
like fucking Living Color. They were good.
But I mean,
Just like
even at
Faith
their
No
age,
More.
they're 50 something now.
No, they're older than that, dude. Because I was in fucking like
And
grade school
60?
when they came out. They got to be in their 60s, late 60s. Shit.
I'll find out.
50 something.
But still, I mean, even at their age, and they're running around practically like how Iron Maiden does.
Yeah, Iron
Maiden,
yeah.
doing the same shit. It's just it's impressive because a lot of these guys they slowed way down.
Yeah, you say all you want that black don't crack, but it sure shit melts when you look at them. Like, my God, we don't age like you do. Yeah, no, you don't.
So, one of the guitarist is 58.
Oh no,
Corey
shit,
Glover.
he's 58. Fucking man.
Vernon Reed is 65.
There you go, 65. I kind of figured there was an old dude. Yeah, I mean,
Will Calhoun is 59, the drummer. The bassist, Doug Wimbish, is 66.
No, okay, so it's those two guys. Yeah, you know what? He's as in a bass player, he's really fucking good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So apparently, Iron Maiden.
Jerome Harris is their other bassist, and he's 70.
Oh, okay.
They have a lot of bass guitarists. Holy crap.
Well, they had heavy bass in Living Color. Iron Maiden has a tank in World of Tanks. It's not World of Tanks. It's Modern Armor. World of Tanks Modern Armor. It's a console game.
Yeah.
It's like if it's not on PC, I'm not playing it. So,
yeah. It's a watered down version. I've played it.
And I hear it's not all that great. There are a lot of bugs in it. Just
well, they released it and they just kind of left it. Yeah, and they just kind of left it to die.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because I was playing it at one point. It was really just it wasn't fleshed out very well.
Papa Roach did a cover of Sweet Emotion with Aerosmith. Or no, not with Aerosmith. Did a cover of Sweet Emotion from Aerosmith.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. It'd probably sound like shit. What Corey Taylor opens up about his I don't give a shit. But I don't know why everybody's kissing that guy's ass. Corey Taylor. This.
We had this conversation last stream.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. Yeah,
it was Corey Taylor sucks.
Is that what we called it?
That was the title. I don't even know.
I probably forced that title on
you.
Like, man.
Yeah, you had me put that title. That might have been for the one that we couldn't film. So we didn't have this conversation. That might have been because I think I had the title before I had any. No, because I couldn't. Because I didn't log in. So yeah, it was. So we've already had this whole conversation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Corey Taylor sucks. Whatever.
Yeah.
Ex-AC/DC drummer Chris Slade gives his stamp of approval to new drummer Matt Long. I wish him best of luck. He's just old as shit, man.
Wait, you said Matt Long?
Not long, log.
Oh.
Like LAUG or LOG, like something you'd leave in the toilet.
Jeez.
What is turd? That's a little Jeopardy thing for you. Corey Taylor was so nervous while singing SpongeBob SquarePants that the theme song with Tom Kenny, SpongeBob voice actor. Wow. Corey Taylor singing SpongeBob SquarePants. Let's see how much more fucking Corey Taylor news we can get on today.
Matt Log is only 55.
Yeah. He's replacing 70-some-odd-year-old fucking ACDC.
Oh, I thought you were saying Matt Log was fucking...
No. He's
old.
replacing... Yeah. Let's see. I'm going through... Oh, yeah. Robert Trujillo joined up with Suicidal Tendencies in Arizona. Play with them. It's cool. I liked,
That's right. If he is, I forgot.
Yeah, he's suicidal.
Yeah, Phil Rudd's 69.
Well, unfortunate. The Blue Ridge Rock Festival canceled the weekend performances due to the severe weather.
Oh, wunderbar.
Because Vince Neil was performing, I'm sure. That's like this, so they had to make up something.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Nobody wanted to see it.
Yeah, no, we really wanted to see this shit. Yeah.
So, looks like... Yeah, it looks like Buck Cherry is back together and touring.
So they are all together.
Looks like it.
Oh, okay. So it's not just one dude and... Yeah. Okay, well, that's cool.
So, Skid Row and Buck Cherry partner for 2023, The Gang's All Here, co-headline tour. Interesting. Cool.
Ozzy Osbourne's going to undergo his 4th surgery. Just keep patching him up, sending him out.
And then he returns a week later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's lasted. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Sabbath, I love Ozzy, and all. I'm surprised he's lasted this long.
So it's Pussifier, Primus, and A Perfect Circle is doing the West Coast tour.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew I'd fucking find it because I ran across that. And I just want to watch fucking Primus do the Charlie and Chocolate Factory shit.
Cheer up, Charlie.
I like that. That was pretty good. Puts a demented spin on it.
Yeah, it was.
Kind of like Meat Canyon's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. That's what I'd expect to see. You go in and watch Meat Canyon's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, or the Ronald McDonald Big Mac. Big Mac. I wish you would have tried the Big Mac. But when you do. When you look at that, that's what I think of as Primus.
Yeah.
Doing a twisted, demented fucking Willy Wonka.
Yeah. That's why they were saying... what was the movie?
Oh, so Nickelback's done. Done with the joke of people not liking them. Well, it's not a fucking joke. I'm happy they think it's a joke and they feel good about themselves.
There are people that still love Nickelback.
Yeah.
But it's a meme, and if they're...
I'll tell you what.
They're a bunch of bitches
if they're getting offended. This is the one thing I'll give Nickelback, is they had the meanest mullets in the fucking industry.
Look, if they're going to get offended over people memeing that they don't like them...
Yeah.
When they still do sell tickets,
then
they have no frickin' reason to keep touring.
So it's Metallica. All right, the rest of it. It was the food banks that they were supporting. They were supporting food banks with their ice cream. So I hope they buy them a lot of freezers. No, I get it. Let's see. What else do we have? Swedish gangsters are laundering money through the Spotify streaming revenue.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, interesting. Swedish gangsters. I mean, think about that. They're Swedish gangsters. I'll probably have somebody fucking come by and leave a rotten fucking sausage at my doorstep now. chug fucking ale or fucking mead in my front lawn until I move. Swedish gangsters. Holy
No, you'll just grab your
shit.
own meat and sit out in the front with them.
They don't actually kill anybody. They're, they don't like violence. Swedish gangsters.
You got me thinking about World of Tanks.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I remember when Sabaton had their
Sabaton.
their
Yeah, you can
special
buy the
tank.
Sabaton tank. It's pretty cool. They have an offspring tank and something else.
I just love the music video that came along with it.
Oh, yeah, yeah. The
Awesome.
Sabaton's great shit.
They're people that really put effort into the songs they write and in the videos they make. They have a lot of pride.
Well, it's because they're like history buffs, like Iron Maiden. If you listen to any of their music, it's a lot of fucking history.
Well, and that's why I love Joakim Broden. He said, this lead singer, he said the reason why we don't necessarily have our original stories in the songs is because why are we going to make up stories when we have plenty of amazing stories in our history?
Yeah, a lot of amazing.
They use a bunch of historical battles purely just because
about Bismarck and
yeah. They even did the one where is it World War One, where Germans and U.S. soldiers were separated by a kind of a no man's land.
Yeah,
and they could hear music coming from one of the sides, and
and they
joined together.
Yeah,
they made a whole song about that.
Not all soldiers, and that's the difference between certain generations too. There are certain generations are more than happy to go out and it's like, I don't give a shit, I'll fucking kill them.
Yeah.
But there were other generations that's like, we don't really want to do this.
We're kind of being forced.
No, it's not. One side, yeah. The other side, no. It's a defense, but it's like, hey, man, it's not us. It's our government that we don't really agree with, but we're here fighting for our country.
Yeah.
And when it boils down to it, it's what it is. It's your loyalty to your country.
Mm-hmm.
And then your government's telling you, to be loyal to your country, you got to fight for, For us, it's like, no, it doesn't work that way, and you can still disagree and still fight for your country.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, shit, look at Robert E. Lee. He
Yeah.
disagreed with him fully, and he still fought for fucking Virginia.
Yeah. He did not care for slavery. He just
didn't give a shit about any.
He didn't want the Union trampling on states' rights.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't.
He didn't mind abolishing slavery. He didn't like the way they did it.
Yeah. Well, it's they took from the South, and the North took from the South and profited from the South with all the rest of the world.
And then try to restrict them in doing a bunch of things.
And they tried to put their thumb on them. And so, yeah. And if it was, if lest anybody believe, the Civil War was about slavery, they're wrong, because if it was about slavery, it would have been the first shot fired, and they would have said, Emancipation Proclamation, here you go, instead of fucking 3 years into it.
Yeah. Yeah, for
but
sure.
Everybody knew, everybody knew it was wrong. I mean, shit, they knew it was wrong in 1776, but how you can't bring a whole country together. You wouldn't have had a civil war. It would have been basically a stomp out by the British, because half of them would have been, the British are going to allow us to keep our slaves, while you're saying, hey, when we go through this, we're going to have to give up our slaves. They wouldn't have, So you have to make concessions somewhere.
Well, and that was the thing. When they were
signing about that shit too.
Yeah, and when they were signing the Constitution, it was Virginia, Georgia, and a few of the other states, or a few of the other colonies at that point, that was saying, we can't just give up our slaves instantly. We have a economy built around it. If you were to do that, we'd collapse and we couldn't support ourselves.
Yeah, when you look at the Reconstruction, a lot of them did, but a lot of the bigger businesses, but also allowed smaller businesses to open and flourish.
Hmm.
And Reconstruction was really brutal anyway.
Yeah, but they but they said here give us I think the time was like 7 years or something like that. Give us 7 years to switch up our economy a bit and have us get enough manpower to actually support ourselves so we don't have to rely on slavery. And they said okay. Well, it never happened.
Yeah.
It ended up getting, whether it just got forgotten about or just whatever, it just ended up not being discussed again.
So hey, we got a philosopher of the week. It's not Gene Simmons or Paul Stanley or Lars Ulrich
I'm
or
surprised.
it's D. Snyder this week. Isn't sure that big bands playing deep cuts live is the best idea. Well, keep your opinion to yourself, motherfucker.
Wait, say that again.
He says D. Snyder isn't sure that big bands playing deep cuts like their B sides and like
Yeah.
you know live is the best idea because anybody playing a Twisted Sister deep cut needs to be fucking punched in the face. Their deep cuts suck.
Why wouldn't bands play?
And some of the deep cuts because these are songs that nobody's heard and people haven't heard in a while, and they're like on B sides and shit, and you hear them, they're really fucking good,
Yeah.
and it's like you hear them once,
Mhm.
and then they bring shit back like Iron Maiden did with a bunch of their songs on when we went and saw them.
Mhm.
AC/DC's done it. A lot of these bands have done it. And they bring these old songs back, and it's like, fuck yeah, man, that was a good song.
To me, that just shows when you play your deep cuts live. To me, that just shows you have pride in all the music, even the ones that people
Pride
don't
in
hear.
everything you got. Yeah, everything you got.
Everything you got. I don't know why fucking D. Snyder's talking shit right now. It's not like Twisted Sister's a big band anymore.
No,
He's in a perpetual midlife crisis.
yeah,
He thinks everything's okay.
Always got something to say about something, man. He's anti-American fucking. He thinks anybody who didn't get the shot needs to be fucking killed. Live and let live, man. Come on.
Leave people
You know,
alone.
you're not being a warrior for the right reasons. You're shitting all over your own countrymen. You can't do that. Hey, but I will tell you, a porn site has offered Queen $69,000. Yes, $69,000 to use fat bottom girls on one of their platforms.
That's it.
Yes. Well, I mean, dude, you get $69,000.
No, I get it.
That's funny.
That's funny.
But I mean, that's not bad. I mean, here, fucking use the song, but you still have the fucking rights. And
Yeah.
what I would say, hey, I'll tell you what, I will take the 69 grand, and then every time you have somebody play the video, I want a fucking dollar from it, or I want
Yeah.
I want a percentage from the video being played, including the $69,000. They can
That
count
is
that.
funny though.
Yeah, fat bottom girls. It's probably a fat chick fucking website.
Yeah. I saw a video a therapist made,
Uh huh.
and she was talking that or telling somebody that playing heavy metal is actually good for your mental state.
Um, yeah, and so is playing really fast-paced classical music, Tchaikovsky, shit like that.
And the reason why she was talking about this because she saw a video of a girl saying, "Me 7 in the morning when full of anxiety, but as soon as I turn heavy metal on, I calm down."
Yeah.
It's like, and
Some
she
people
goes,
are wired that
What
way.
kind of a weirdo am I?" It's like,
Why
no,
would
it's
you-
like no, it's that you're not weird. It's because of I guess you could say the aggressive nature of it. It's just allowing you to kind of express something without actually, having to
Alright.
physically express it.
My thing is it's fast. There's a lot going on, and your mind is already you're working fast. A
Yeah.
lot of people. There's some people that work. Their minds work really fast. I mean, really, really fucking fast. And what heavy metal and doing certain things, or relaxing to heavy metal, or faster paced music, uh, gives your mind something to process
Yeah.
instead of listening to something slow and quiet or whatever. But when you listen to something that's got a lot to it,
You can process it
you're
at your
processing
speed.
that, and it's dialing you back.
Yeah.
It's kind of slowing you down a little bit, and I don't know. And it's the same sense. And some people the only time they listen to metal or hard rock is in the fucking gym because
It
it
amps them
speeds them
up.
up.
Yeah.
You know.
They can push a little harder than normal.
Yeah. So Danzig canceled the Houston show because of the excessive heat. He doesn't want to melt up there, that little vampire. Oh, that dude's a big dude, you know.
Is he?
But, yeah, but it doesn't take away the fact that he's got a heat vagina. It's too hot up here. My Metallica ice cream's melting. Uh,
Yeah, he's actually a pretty well built dude, surprisingly.
yeah, he is.
He looks a little weird, but he definitely looks like a vampire.
Well, and what's funny
He's got the Twilight look going on.
is I've got it here too. It's a science says ACDC. They're band specific. Science says ACDC's music is good for your health. I don't like getting too far into the articles, but
Yeah.
Steel Panther's edited version of Death to All But Metal wasn't enough to keep them on America's Got Talent. I didn't know Steel Panther was on America's Got Talent. Huh.
I think they were a long time. I don't know.
Steel Panther's pretty good. I like Metalicious. They sing all the '80s shit, and they sound really good doing it.
Yeah, Steel Panther does a lot of. One thing I don't particularly listen to a lot of Steel Panther,
Good God.
but they do a lot of crowd interaction.
Right.
They at least to some degree appreciate their fans a great deal.
Oh yeah. Ghost explains a sudden show cancellation. Everybody's canceling fucking shows, man.
They're all a bunch of pansies. Although I'm sure Ghost is doing it because somebody called them retarded.
Pantera considered their YouTuber Kayla Kent as their new guitarist. Okay, well, you know what? They're gonna check some boxes, I guess. They could have had fucking Stevie T up there ripping through shit.
Bob Scallon.
Yeah. Rob Scallon, yeah. Yeah, he could be, go up there and play that fucking Indian, what the hell is it called?
Sitar?
Sitar. Yeah, he'd be up there playing the fucking sitar, playing Metallica. He has played Pantera with fucking sitar. He played Slayer with sitar.
It wasn't, yeah, I think it was Slayer. I think he did Metallica.
He did a bunch of shit with
I know he did System. He played System with the sitar.
Yeah, so Sabaton is plotting a new album. Not
Plotting.
They're plotting a new album.
Not planning, plotting.
Oh, not planning. Not recording. They're plotting.
That's fun. That's such a funny way to say that.
Shit.
I wonder if that's a quote.
So, I wonder if that's a quote.
That sounds like what they'd say.
Yeah. Volbeat's Michael Paulson. I like Volbeat, but I hate this shit. Names his 5 Desert Island death metal albums. I really don't. Yeah. Okay. They do this. I see this a lot. Hey, what would you, if you were on a desert island, what singer would you like to listen to the most? You know?
If I was on a desert island, I'd be worried about getting the fuck off or surviving.
I'd be worried about cutting down all the fucking trees and make a boat.
Yeah.
And then again, does a desert island have trees?
Depends.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I don't don't think
They
a
called
cactus would float.
Gilligan's Island a desert island, if I recall in the fucking song, right? But it was a tropical
Yeah.
island. It was like a shit
Yeah, it
ton
was
of
a
trees, and they
tropical one.
couldn't build a boat, and they couldn't. You know, how many times they fucking, they tried to make glue for the boat instead of trying to find some fucking steel on the boat to melt down into making the fucking nails or something.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, I would have melted the fucking railings on the boat and made nails and fucking hammered,
So I took a look at
after banging everybody on the island.
Kayla Kent,
Yeah.
the YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
She does a lot of Pantera.
Well, that's all.
She covers them, and then she does. Oh, what if Metallica or not Metallica? What if Pantera did this Metallica song, or what if Pantera or Dimebag did this or that?
Well, odds are, because we weren't in any of the recordings or at his house, he's probably plucked out a few Metallica songs.
Yeah.
People have probably heard him play certain Metallica songs.
And probably him casually playing was like, "Fuck, that sounds better."
Nevada's governor wants AC/DC to headline the Super Bowl halftime show, so they're gonna put fucking metal back in, or faster paced music instead of some fucking chick slapping her fucking vagina at the halftime show, or bitching about shit, or fucking having
So
the hope flag, the rainbow fucking.
so get this shit. A desert island,
Mm-hmm.
a remote, uninhabited tropical island.
So why would you call it a desert?
It's called a tropical
So
island.
my definition of desert is a fucking sandy, hot ass place.
Now a deserted island, but still, there's islands that exist that are just pure
tropical
sand.
islands can be deserted islands.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck, man?
That's just weird. I don't know why they wouldn't just call them tropical islands. It's bizarre.
Let's see.
Stupid.
Are you okay over there?
Yeah.
All right.
I was just coughing, hacking my brains out, like normal.
Like normal. Well, if you wouldn't gobble so much semen, I mean, shit. You wouldn't have all that crap in your lungs.
Oh, stop shoving your junk in my face.
Well, speaking of Volbeat, I guess they're not going to tour in 2024? All right.
What if they're gearing up for an album then?
Probably. They usually do that when they, either that or they're fucking beat,
They've been going for a good while.
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah, Volbeat's nice.
Avenged Sevenfold. Hail to the King is still extremely popular.
It is. Yes, it is.
All I know is when I hear "Hail to the King," I think of fucking Ash. On Evil Dead.
That'd be what, Army of Darkness.
Army of Darkness. That is correct, sir.
This is my boomstick.
I didn't know the back door was open.
Yeah, I opened up the garage.
Oh, did you?
Yep.
I hear somebody rolling through, and I'm not fucking armed here, so we could be sitting ducks.
It's goat throat.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, my lord. So.
Goat throat herself has arrived.
You gonna come sit down for a minute?
I could turn off the camera so you can sit down.
Fine.
But she'll duck.
She's right across the middle.
It's a total joke.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, no. So, we're going on a Star Trek cruise in February 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've been watching a lot of Discovery. And I see where a lot of these people, like hardcore, and I am a bit of a hardcore Star Trek fan.
I would say
see where they get upset with certain things. I'm not too up on the ship design on there, even though it was like the original ship design for the Enterprise, but it's a takeoff on the original.
Yeah.
The original Enterprise wasn't supposed to look like the original Enterprise.
One thing I'll say about the show, or two things. Don't like the Klingons, and two, the technology that they're displaying looks like it's far and above
Well,
Kirk's time.
the technology they're
It's
displaying,
practically almost on par with fucking next gen.
it's better than next gen. But the technology, even in here's my problem with this. It takes an awful lot to process holographic imagery.
Uh-huh.
For us, okay. For them, it may not be whatever.
Yeah.
But the practicality of having a holographic touch panel on a ship that's getting shot at,
Bad idea.
is not really a good idea. If you had like switches or a panel, even a touch panel, if you could tear away the touch panel and have active switches.
Yeah, but okay, this is what they did though. I agree with you. But if you look at, let's say, what show is that? It was the movie. Oh my god, why am I? James Cameron did it. Avatar.
Avatar, yeah.
Avatar. You know how they had those things up and they could do things. They're kind of looking at like what we do now in movies,
Right.
and not really thinking of the old Star Trek and what.
Well, no,
what
I'm
he's
saying
getting at-
is an Avatar net for like a command center situation where you're not getting shot at. You go out and you put you put an operating base, and all your good shit's going to be at your operating. And then now you have a forward operating base, or you have vehicles. You're not going to have.
It's all analog.
You're going to have stuff you could touch buttons because the minute you get jarred around and you shoving your fingers through that holographic thing, it's like, oh shit, man, I just shut down life support,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Or
He's just saying
if it gets
strategically
hit and you have an overload, you're fucked.
And I think I totally didn't come across what I was trying to explain.
No, I know what you're.
I'm not talking about. You're right. I wouldn't either. I'm just talking about take all of that away. I'm talking about the director and the producers and all of that stuff that wrote them and that produced that stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They're taking it off of those movies that you're watching right now. I'm not saying to use
Right,
that.
right.
I agree with
No,
you.
I know what you're. I know what
technologically,
you're
it
talking
would be
about.
stupid.
It's
And a way to put it was Star Trek was made to be futuristic in a time where they didn't know what the future technology would look like.
they were
Now that
showing-
we've had a bunch of movies and there's a lot more, I guess you say, imagination with it. Now it's, what's the future going to look like from a perspective where we have the imagination to think about it.
Right. And not back in the 70s or whatever.
60s.
Yeah, 60s, 70s, and
You know?
even and that's why I liked. This one thing I appreciated with the Voyager is he brought back the hand controls instead of the tablet controls on the Delta Flyer, and he had actual hand controls, analog controls.
Well, because
and
Tom was totally into that shit.
right,
you know?
and they also flew it with the fucking regular controls too. They had, but there was always a backup control. And I'm trying to remember, there was a sci-fi where they had like backup controls for something, which was really smart. But to even have like a touchpad panel and have anything, anything just like boom, there it goes, and not have an actual touch switch, actual fucking click over fucking power or click over this, is devastating. And that's why
Well, look at when you watch the rockets go up now with the astronauts. It has the freaking pads that are up there, and they're looking at their stations and stuff.
right.
Making sure all of it's where it needs to be. So we're there now.
Right. But we're there. But that's not a ship, really. That's not like the shuttle. Now, if the shuttle was all touch panel,
Yeah, I know.
you'd be fucked.
Yeah.
If anything happened to the touch panels.
Yeah.
All it takes is somehow some kind of gravity or something to fucking launch through there, and you just shattered your fucking touch panel, and you don't have a fucking hand control or something to like, hey, let's flip the panel up, get rid of the touch panel, and the fucking actual hand controls are underneath or something. You have to have a redundant system.
And in all honesty, like you said, for Voyager, Tom was into all the analog stuff. But if you think about it, for him, that probably gave him so much more control over the flyer. He probably allowed him to display even more of his capabilities.
And then you have like the feel, and your hand's not sliding across the touch panel. This is the other thing that I don't like about holographic image, panels. Is how comfortable is that to do that for 8 fucking hours a day?
Nice.
You know, instead you're down here like this on your touch screen.
You're doing
or
the
your
thriller
fucking
for
controls,
your shift.
and they're doing this shit, and whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
I just, it's not just that. I think it's great, but they had a couple directors in there. There was a lot of lens flare and shit, like Michael Bay film.
Yeah, but even
or a J.J. Abrams film.
Frakes did one that it still had some of those.
A little bit, but it wasn't as aggressive as
No,
the
I don't
fucking
know
one
why they're
episode. I'm
doing
like,
that.
holy shit, man! It's like I'm looking into the sun, literally looking into the sun.
It made
It was
you
too
not
much.
And some of the they're doing the. So the way that they're running this show is that it's kind of like, the Dominion War with, with Deep Space Nine.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing a progression of, it's not just like a Next Gen, where it's a 40-minute episode.
Yeah, they're doing a whole storyline instead of individual stories like the original series. Like Voyager was alright. Voyager was a continuous storyline. You knew they had they had to
a
get
mission
home,
to get home.
but
right?
they had other.
Side
Every
quests.
episode was different. Like Next Generation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you had season
the Hirogen and stuff.
4,
when they did
5, and 6 in was it 4, 5, and 6 in Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
That was hours of, that was 70 hours of Dominion War.
Yeah.
Versus having, and they would break it up and they'd have individual episodes in between.
Mm-hmm.
But this is more of a progression. This is more of like that instead of having individual episodes
And
of hey, we went to this planet and this shit happened, or we went here.
And they kind of changed it with the seasons, right? With Discovery, because now it's talking. Yeah, they all have that whole thing with the Klingons and where they're gonna be, and then they.
Right, and I know, and when Worf goes, why did they look like humans? And well, we don't talk about that now. We know why they look like humans. Is because they were infiltrated. Well, I knew this from a long time ago.
Yeah.
They were, surgically altered to look like us to infiltrate the Federation is what it was.
And they didn't. And in Discovery, the whole thing is they didn't have their hair anymore.
Right, and they were all bald. Now they're growing their hair back.
Now they're growing their hair back,
and they still look radically different from.
But you can see some of the similar characteristics.
And I think
of a Klingon,
that was
not...
the thing is everybody said, "What the fuck did you do to the Klingons?"
I think they tried to
and
make
then
it.
They're trying to make it look like.
Yeah.
And I noticed as the episodes progress, there's some that that dude looks like a regular Klingon, other than the fact that he's fucking blue,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're changing them to look like the Klingons we know instead of bald and
Weird looking.
Yeah.
Alien,
Yeah, like totally. Klingon.
Like a bird.
Yeah.
DS9 and fucking Next Gen would not fucking recognize these guys. Who are these? But my understanding is it's supposed to be placed in an alternate timeline, like the JJ universe. I do like they have every episode of any TV show has a story, a main story, and then they have the side stories that cut off. Discovery has a lot of nonsense and a lot of side stories that are not good, but the main story's good. But when they cut to the other story, it's like, dude,
It'd be nice to just watch the main story.
I just want to watch the main story because this sucks.
Well, and I think, say if you were in manager, for instance, and when Paris and they started getting together or whatever.
Right.
You would see a little bit of that.
Well, you'd see
and stuff like that, but not a whole lot.
No, there wasn't in the episodes I know that bother you were the episodes where he was in the TV show.
Captain Chaos.
Captain
or,
Chaos.
Not Captain Chaos.
Captain
sorry.
Proton.
Captain Proton. I'm thinking
when they had a main story, but then they cut over to Paris and it's Captain Proton. He's like, oh, she's over there. Oh, jeez.
That is General Chaos.
General Chaos.
General.
Yeah.
Professor Chaos.
Professor Chaos.
Duh.
And then
it's
it's General Disarray.
General Disarray and Professor Chaos.
Yeah.
Some of those I liked some of them, but there's more of the side episodes that you don't like in Discovery, and then they like make it a point on the one episode about sex and he's pansexual. Like really, we were going pretty good until you start mentioning this shit. We all fucking know. You don't have to fucking. Here, I'm gonna stick my finger in your fucking face and tell you this shit. It's like, who cares? Nobody fucking cares. I don't need to differentiate from a gay dude or a fucking pansexual. I don't personally give a shit.
That's why I came in at one point and it was
I just
a lesbian and a gay
characters.
dude doing some fucking medical treatment, and they were talking about spouses and shit. I'm like, why? I don't care.
Not as passive as
But I'm just saying is that
on everything else.
They were talking about
it was just the way she broached that whole thing.
Yeah.
About
It was like
it was
forced.
We were pansexual in another.
It was really forced.
Yeah,
like,
it was really just like
it was too much.
Okay, so they did not even try to work it into a story or anything like that. It was like boom right there, and then it went off to something else.
I'm
it was like,
and why was this fucking?
Happened?
It was like, not that, and like, I don't understand why in the hell did this come from. It was like a fucking come out of left field, man.
And it makes sense.
It's like holy shit. But I do. Still, my favorite character is Saru. The alien guy.
Yeah, I
love the fact that I love his character arc is really good. I liked everything about him. I do, I like Pike. The unfortunate thing is the Strange Worlds has done the it's all female fucking bridge, and it's like, are you totally and it's very known that it seems like they're man hating and shit. And it's hard to watch, but when you watch Christopher Pike in Discovery, it's like, fuck, I love this shit. What the fuck happened to that? Yeah, and you wonder, what the hell happened to that? I like Spock in Discovery. I just don't like the, I don't know. It's a lot of forced stuff. It's everybody getting along, everybody doing their thing until they actually, and you can tell it's forced. Some piss poor fucking writer.
Gay and
no,
having a husband or something.
Everybody
like that
fucking knows you're gay and you have a husband. That's fucking cool. Everybody's accepting that, and nobody fucking is gonna question it. Nobody cares. It's not brave and bold in this fucking world, man. Maybe in the 20s it was fucking brave and bold. It ain't brave and bold now, and nobody gives a shit.
So I don't understand why she did that whole. They did that whole scene with. Whatever her name is. Yeah, the terrible actress. Yeah, the fucking Giorgio. Yeah, Giorgio. And the actor that plays, she's not good. But I do like. I like. I'm not taking away from Sequoia Green. No, I like her. I like her. It's just she's not my favorite, and they try to set her up to be like. Oh, she's gonna be your favorite and shit. I like Saru. I like Stamets. I do not like the redheaded chick whatsoever. I know you don't. It's just too much of I'm a fool falling on. I'm a fool. I'm an idiot genius. Yeah. And I'm fucking. It's just too fucking much. And she plays a stupid part less is more. A stupid genius. Yeah, and then the constant talking. Then it's like. Dude, this is basic shit.
Oh yeah, and you know to change the diaper, you got to put the. It's like, dude, everybody from fucking the baby getting a diaper changed to the fucking 90-year-old fucking lady with dementia knows how to do this shit. Shut the fuck up, you know. It's just too much talk for her.
Yeah.
You know, she's in it too much. Um, the girl with the scars, I forget her name, and I shouldn't. I like her too. She's that's a good character.
Oh,
I like the robot
yeah.
too. The robot
she's
chick was
gone.
pretty good. That episode wasn't bad. Um, and
And the dude that was half Klingon or whatever.
yeah,
I don't remember his name.
Oh, Troy or whatever his name is.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
I really like him.
yeah, he's good. That's a good character.
He's solid.
That's a really good character. Like Siru and Michael Burnham is a pretty decent character. But I think the problem is now she's crying like fucking every episode, and like 3 or 4 fucking times an episode. I'm like, when she came in, she was tough as fucking nails. I was like, and not as emotional, but she was emotional. But she wasn't.
But she was hiding.
But she was able to fucking control her shit.
It was all started when it was her family, Spock and her mom, when her mom came over.
Yeah.
She was great with Sarek. And then...
And that's the other character. I like Sarek a lot.
Yeah, he's really cool.
But Spock isn't bad.
I like Spock.
No. And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, he's not... He would be my, like, my B tier with Michael Burnham. You know, it's on the level of her. But Siru and Stamets and Pike are the A guys that, you know, and then it's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
And then the rest of them, you know. Oh, and the doctor, he would be more like the C tier with the chick with the scars and stuff, and I like him too. He's pretty cool. I like the character. I like how he plays the character, especially seeing how he's back from the dead. That guy's a pretty decent actor, I think. Let's see, who else is in that show? And I don't like Giorgio, the actor is not good, and the character is better.
I think she's better.
She's better as
who
the
she
Terran,
is now.
as the Terran, more than she was before. But and here's the other thing that bothers me is you're not taking a 110-pound chick and beating the piss out of a Klingon. You just aren't. You're not taking a 110-pound chick and beating the piss out of a 250-pound guy. You know.
That's why weight classes exist.
Yeah. No matter how much you know how to fight, it's not going to happen.
Right.
Yeah. So. Anyway.
Welcome home.
Thank you. We're doing a podcast right now.
Are you?
Mhm.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Is Mike still on?
No.
No.
I think he's skedaddled off to go do something.
Oh, Mr. Mike was on?
Yeah. Me and him were talking.
Huh?
So, yeah, Jesse was able to show the Metallica ice cream with the new award.
I did. You
so
want
we
to
got
see it?
pictures and shit. So we need to get our monitor up here
Okay.
so we can see the show in the background. But, so yeah, we'll be watching Strange Worlds. I hope it gets better. I'm in the 3rd episode of the 1st season. It hurts, man. It really does.
I might have to rewatch the 3 episodes because I don't know if I paid much attention because it was awful. But now that I like Pike now through Discovery,
No, that's
I'm
what I'm
hoping
saying is
I might like it better. I
I
just
like
the Jerry Ryan one.
I want to see. I hope they do Legends. I need to see fucking
Yes.
Enterprise G and the whole Legends.
Yeah.
You know.
Good God, Enterprise G, that thing must be a monster.
Well, because all right, Worf. I want to know what happened to the E. The E was a badass fucking ship. And the Enterprise F was damaged beyond like what you would want to do repairs on, which doesn't make any sense for the Star Trek universe. because they had taken the old Constitution class like Pikes and Captain Kirk's, and from like ground up, you know, upgraded the systems, reused a lot of shit, and built the Enterprise as, you know, the refit. You know, and they call it the Enterprise refit, or the Connie 2, or whatever the fuck they want to call it, or the Enterprise A, and they built that from the original. You know, and for them to say the Enterprise F wasn't worth repairing the space frame, it doesn't hold water for me, because, you know, you're not recycling shit, and that's what Star Trek was. They were into recycling, and that's why they built these the newer ships like the Excelsior, modular design, so that things can be upgraded. And Excelsior is like in the fucking Picard and Next Generation, they still had the ships, and they're over 100 fucking years old.
Yeah.
Shit, they still had Mirandas. You know, they had all these old ships, and they're 100 years old.
Yeah. Just with some.
But they were phasing them out.
I imagine they just retroed them for a little bit.
No, that's what they do.
Years.
They put up the updated engines and computers and upgraded weapons in the same hull, and the updated shields and all that shit in the same hull. So basically, if you took the Enterprise B of the Excelsior time, like, well, you remember, it's after fucking, you know, Undiscovered Country was the Excelsior, or Search for Spock. That era versus the fucking Next Gen era, the Hood of, you know, or Deep Space Nine, the Hood would fucking romper stomp the shit out of the fucking Excelsior, like, no contest. And I think even the Hood with the upgrades at that point would have been a good holdover for the fucking Galaxy, which was an Explorer, and the Excelsiors were not. Multi-role cruisers, you know, heavy cruiser.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the Defiant is
It's a mini
more than
warship.
a match for a fucking Galaxy class. You know, it's a dedicated fucking war machine.
Yeah.
And for anybody to say anything fucking different is ridiculous. They may have the same shit, and you'll have people argue this. You'd probably have that on the cruise too. But I think when you build a dedicated war machine, like you have fucking, if we rebuilt, or if we built ground up brand new fucking battleships with rail guns and upgraded 16-inch guns and 5-inch guns, and then they're going to turn around and you know, and fuck ton of phalanx all over it, and turn around and say, well, I'll tell you what, that exploration cruiser, that, you know, Jacques Cousteau cruiser with the gun on it, can take on that fucking battleship. You're out of your fucking mind.
The Defiant was a fucking board killer. It was designed to destroy.
Yeah, and so was the Enterprise E.
Yeah.
And that's where you get into the Enterprise E would have just mopped the fucking floor with the Defiant. And at the time, the Enterprise E would have mopped the floor with anything in the fleet. Well, it's just like the when the first Enterprises came out, the Constitutions.
Yeah.
They were fucking outright
top of the line.
You know, and from the books and all that shit, they were outright destroying the best.
Is that the big over there? Yeah. Ooh.
What?
It jumped to right over here.
What is it?
I don't know.
Oh, it's a little bug.
Oh, it's an ant? Oh, whatever.
No, it flies.
I don't care.
Anyway.
But yeah, the Constitutions were.
Well, yeah, and then
Top
with
of
the
the
bed,
line,
you
just-
know, there's nothing the Klingons had
Yeah.
that could, you know, they were saying it's 1 for 3 for the D7 cruiser, the D7 battleship.
Yeah. It's
For
just,
yeah. And if you, and that's
then
what
they made them-
I was reading. It's like, if you were 3 of them were to show up and fight a Constitution clash, it could go either way.
Yeah.
But if it was a 1-on-1, absolutely, or a 2-on-1, absolutely not.
And then the Starfleet practically makes that a bog standard for everything.
Yeah.
Once they come out with something spectacular, if they're like, okay, it's standard.
And the other thing is, you know, in Discovery, this crossfield design is like, like, you turn around and beat the shit out of a Galaxy class with this thing. You know, like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, it's just not.
You know? But it couldn't win the Klingon War with their aging shit.
Yeah.
And the other thing was, is I remember, and you remember from Star Trek 3 and a bunch of the others, they would search for emissions when on undercloaked ships.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't have had the upper hand as like they did. It would have been like, hey, we're getting these emissions over here, and even in Star Trek, the earlier they were talking about the earlier birds of prey would easily track because the cloaking couldn't cloak everything. It's not as advanced as the new ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're still spitting out emissions, and it's like, oh, we need these frequencies. No, you don't. Just look for the fucking emissions out there, man.
Yeah.
And they're not totally. I mean, you'd see distortions in the view,
Mm-hmm.
and they saw that, and they showed that in Star Trek 3 too. There's distortions in the view, and that's an even a more of an upgraded fucking design than in Discovery. So.
Yeah. It seemed, yeah.
And the only thing this is the one thing I hope with Legends. I hope they rebuild that cloaking device for Enterprise G, because that would be like a Defiant. That would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's plenty of. It's not a Mary Sue or Stan Stew or whatever the fuck it. It's not an ultimate ship still. It still has its flaws and drawbacks like the Defiant did. Defiant could just warp in somewhere cloaked and just beat the piss out of the Dominion.
Yeah.
You know, because you're trying to mask an energy signature. Remember, they couldn't fly at high warp, or they'd be tracked, even though they're invisible. So there are drawbacks of these things, and that's got to be written in. It's got to be written well. And I think what they did with the last Picard season, if they keep going that way, they're going to have an awesome show on their hands.
Well, and that was the thing.
And they got to keep the mirror universe shit to a minimum.
Yeah.
And they got to keep time travel at a minimum. It's starting to get tired shit.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like all throughout the, whether it be Next Gen or Deep Space Nine or any of them, anytime a ship was cloaked, it was always either stationary or a very low impulse.
Yeah, they weren't moving fast because
To make himself like
the emissions.
non-existent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even the Defiant, when the Defiant had its cloaking.
Right.
Remember with the Jebedar, because they were like, Canisius.
Yeah, they shut down practically the whole fucking ship.
Well, the problem with that ship, it was overpowered.
Yeah, it's gonna.
And for good reason, for the weapons. It had cannons on it.
Yeah.
And it had it was the ultimate of what you could do.
It had something that was the size of Voyager's saucer section, putting out more power than it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was putting out an asinine amount of power for weapons and shields. And of course, it's got an ablative armor generator too. Well before the Voyager had it.
That's why I love the Mirror Universe episode on Deep Space Nine when O'Brien, I think he kidnapped fucking Cisco, or came over to ask him for help. He goes, "The Defiant keeps shaking itself apart."
Well, no shit.
Yeah.
And that's why the Defiant will never reach its top speed.
No.
You know, they say it's the top speed is 9.2, so that's plenty fucking fast.
Yeah, for a warship.
But it's not. When you look at it, it's like 1,000 times 1,000 times 1,000. That's kind of warp. Warp is like 500. Warp 2 is 500 times the speed of fucking warp 1.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, it's like
it's not a gradual growth. It's
and
exponential.
Then it's 50,000 times. Then it's 500. 250,000 times. So it's just.
Then every 0.1 is fucking that many thousand times more fast.
So, and here I'll give you an idea. So warp 9.9 is what Voyager, I think it is, or 9.96 or 9.9.
9.96, I think. Yeah.
Or whatever
Or 7.
Voyager's fastest speed was, but the Enterprise E was that much faster, and it was still 100 times faster than Voyager. It was like just point. What is it? Voyager was 9.975, and then the Enterprise was 9.98, and it was 100 times faster than Voyager. And there's a guy who did a simulation of warp speed from here to the nearest fucking star, and it showed how fast light was, the NX class, the Constitution class, and then it was showing Defiant, Voyager, and Enterprise, Galaxy, and Enterprise E. And it showed that Enterprise E was fucking moving. And Voyager was faster than Galaxy, of course.
Yeah.
But then again, that's all, as with all new
9975.
9975 is what? E or Voyager?
Voyager.
So it's 998 is what E is. So, anyway. But with all that and all the Star Trek theories, and you know, I have my theory, and I'm just reading, you know, I'm going off of what I remember reading, and you know, which I do a lot.
Holy crap!
Huh?
The Enterprise E is a fuck ton faster.
Yeah. It's
9995.
And there you go, 9995.
0.02.
And that's
faster.
Like, yeah, 0.02. No, that 0.02 faster is 100 times faster than Voyager.
Yeah.
So, and they do the
Gone
countdown on how many
blink of an eye.
minutes or how many seconds it takes to get somewhere.
Yeah.
And like for light speed to get to Mars, and it was like,
yeah,
when you hit go, all the ships were at fucking Mars and light speed was still traveling.
Mm-hmm. I think it takes, was it
13 minutes.
13 minutes. I thought it was 3 minutes.
That's
It's
still
still-
fucking moving, dude.
Oh, that's still fucking scary.
That's like driving to work, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, that drive to work got me to Mars, motherfucker. So, anyway. Well, you had a show talking about shit.
Yeah, good.
It's that
good amount of
time,
stuff.
because I'm hungry and I haven't eaten yet.
Actually been going for an hour and 12.
We've been going for an hour and 12 minutes.
We got done.
We normally only do an hour.
Yeah.
We're not outfitted to do 2 hours because I had to work overtime today. And I was almost falling asleep on my fucking chair because I'm not used to that shit. And I also went to bed late.
What time did you go to
Did
bed?
you?
I couldn't sleep.
Mm.
And I heard you snoring your fucking ass off.
I was tired.
So, anyway. Yep. So now I'm like reinvigorated after talking about a bunch of bullshit.
Talking about metal for a while. We were talking about
Yeah, for a long
bunch
while.
of stuff.
Cool. But anyway. Well, until next week, I'm Pete.
Swift
That's
Jesus.
Swift Jesus, and that's the old throat goat. Signing off. I got a twofer.